Hi, today is March the 7th, 2021. It's a Sunday, and I'm going to read some viewer requests. Do some readings for viewer requests, okay? Okay, so I'm going to use the LightSeer's Tarot. It's one of my favorite go-to decks. You can see the artwork. It's not too large of a deck. Sometimes you can get a deck will come in a larger size, so make sure when you're ordering a deck that you look at the dimensions, and if you have smaller hands or whatever, make sure you look at the dimensions, because sometimes you can find a smaller version of the deck. So anyway, having said that, now let's carry on. We are going to look at a viewer request question, which is to do with the white supremacy issue. And I'm going to paraphrase what that person was asking. They asked a very good question, but basically, I believe what they are getting at is there actually more people getting involved now that Trump and this influence has affected the world, where people are being shown, hey, we say that it's all right if you want to be a fascist, horrible human being. What say you? And there are some people that are going, yeah, that sounds really great. Let's be horrible. Now, the question is the actual number increasing, or is it that people are just becoming more vocal about it? So let's take a look at the cards and see what they have to tell us about that, and about this spread of white supremacy and extremism that is very popular, that is trending, and has been trending for the last 5+ years. Ever since basically Obama got in office. Black man becomes president, is a good president, not perfect by any means, but very good president, and they lose their damn minds. Okay, so let's just take a look. Spirit, I'm asking the Creator, our beloved Creator, and my ancestors, and the human ancestors, just period also, and my other spiritual mentors, to please assist me in reading accurately and clearly upon this very deep question about whether or not we are seeing a rise in more people joining and going towards this extremist group. What does the universe want to share with us with regard to this issue? What do we need to know about? And I give thank you. Thank you. I give thanks. What do we need to know that we are not aware of with regard to any rise in white supremacy and its popularity? It seems among a certain set of people. Is this growing, or is it just becoming more vocal, or both? So I leave this to the Creator and the universe to relate back to us through symbols an answer that we need to have. Okay, let's go. We get the Seven of Pentacles. This is a thing of looking at the goal of these organizations. I see there's definite clarity. There is another look. This type of what would you call it, other than just racist crap? This is being given another look, so to speak, through society. And they are adding things onto it. They are recreating it for modern day times. This is the feeling I'm getting here. There's a certain group of people that are trying to reform it and make it, try to make it more intellectually acceptable. But equally as such, people could take it apart logically and point out its faults. I think what would be really good is if this nation really were to go over that aspect of the logic in why it's stupid. I'm sorry we have to have this conversation, but we do. And we're not the only, it's not just America. I'm talking about the world and white people. Here is the fighting that comes out as a result, this bickering. And we do have the Page of Pentacles, and I feel like it is pointing to like Trump, and in particularly it shows a male who is struggling definitely more with, is going to appeal to, I think, firstly, I'm getting the male who's with work issues, or there's economic issues, just as the question was put about the economic problems that are causing some white people to embrace or be more vulnerable to such awful, in my opinion, blame upon somebody else that looks different than you for your problems. You know, put the problems where they belong, with your leadership, with the people that you've elected, who are responsible for your economy and so on. Stop electing Republicans that fill their coffers and don't help you with your economy. Don't blame people of color. It's not their fault. King of Swords. This could be Biden. Falling under, yeah, there's Reformation, where I believe that kind of process, thought process is. And it is to do with work. It is to do with economy. And us having to reset, the United States and many other countries, I think, too, having to, what do you call, well, you know, reformat, reevaluate, change their economy. Looking over problematic issues in society, You know, we need a leadership that cares enough to do that. And right now, in many of these places, because these people keep electing these jokes, it's not going to happen. And the whole thing of using it as an excuse to become racist is just not good enough for me. I know that finances and it will affect people. It will make them look for a scapegoat. I do understand that concept very much, via World War II, but I don't think that we should for a moment allow that notion to be entertained, because I think it gives way to a lot more normalization of this really dangerous and cruel mentality. We don't need an excuse for people to have a bad mentality, and this just gives them it. King of Wands. And what was that? The Ace of Swords. Well, I think definitely Biden has plans here in America, and America often affects other countries around the world. And it's about a matter of choice and integration. Look at that. You know, even on this Lovers card, we have a mixed race couple. So we're looking at being shown here the integration aspect. And choices that people make, I think, in their relationships or to do with relationships, about how they believe. And if we look here, we see certainly a man of color, and we see a man that is Caucasian. And I believe that these two could be leaders that are going to be of nations that are going to be working on race within their country. The King of Wands I feel like could be another leader, perhaps a man of color, no less. Wands, fire sign. And a King of Swords, air sign. Definitely could be Trump and another sort that are wanting to, I think, stir the pot where race is concerned, and mixing of race. Another man there. Let's just put out that third line. That is the Nine of Pentacles. For some reason I was thinking this was the King of Cups, but it's not my Biden card. It's the King of Swords. Different deck. Looks a little differently. There. Okay. We could definitely look at that as Trump, because it is a King of Swords, falling under this, he's really kicked it off. He did. He wasn't the only one by any means, but as far as America and really churning it up with other countries, Trump. definitely has done that. And he's discovered a financial base, and that he can harp on the economy, as you can see here, and redirect, I feel like, white male and, people that identify as women as well, but agreeing with this perspective. Yeah, again, I think I'm getting that this was, been brought up so it can be lanced in this nation finally. But that doesn't happen quickly nor overnight. But we are in that time as of lancing racism within America. And as we do that, it affects the rest of the world, how they will react to it within their own countries. Something that isn't expected that comes up. And this is this shows the fighting against racism, I believe, and a choice that is coming up. There's some kind of choice for the world and for the younger people with that Page of Cups, and they respond perhaps in a way that may be surprising. Seven of Swords falls under the Lovers. To me, we have at least, I'm looking at 3 adult male figures. A King of Pentacles, a King of Swords, and a King of Wands. And where this issue of white national supremacy, I feel like they are key people connected or who are important in some way to this in our nation and the world. There's 3, I believe, leaders that are being shown. And I believe these 2 definitely Trump, and I tend to think Obama. And I think that Obama's intellectual clarity and ability and quick-mindedness, I just feel like that kicked off a great deal of backlash. And that's why you had Trump with his racist garbage of birtherism and Melania falling and towing that line, and other people getting on board with that. I just never seen such disgusting hate as when Obama was in office. And anytime Obama is brought up, the horrible pictures to make fun of Michelle and his children and their heritage, it's just disgusting. I've never seen in all my years anything like that. So here I feel like you get a decent, very decent, intellectual, capable man of color that comes into office, and then very quickly we have the ramping up of racism. It's not just this year. It's been going on since before Trump. But as Trump came into the picture, most definitely he is responsible a great deal, if you ask me, in America and elsewhere for kicking up this resurgence. People that, ugly enough, identify with his sourness and readiness to blame others on their lack of economic possibility, potential, development in their own lives. It's just so much easier to blame someone else on that. This, here it shows somebody has definitely, I think, and another leader, perhaps of an earth sign, where I believe the racism, the choices with regard to that mentality come up. And there is something that this guy's, I think he has or feels some kind of way about, definitely, race. But he's tried to be sneaky about it. But he doesn't get away with it. I feel like the bells he gets caught. Not quite sure what that's about, but I'm just going to say it and point it out. And here we have, again, the new activity kicking up of these new groups that are following white supremacist ideology. And it's the choice. Because part of the reason people are finding it is because it needs cracking down, frankly. We need people to crack down on it so that this information isn't so given as normalized, given as a choice. It's not a choice to be, it really isn't. Because you have to be racist. If you want to be racist, there's going to be a problem. Because there's a whole great big old world out there of a variety of people that not going to play that game. So people are acting like this is some sort of new option. It's not an option. If you think that way, you're just stupid. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Racism is stupid. And people need to realize it's not an option. It's an option for foolish, stupid people that don't want to put the work in and face their issues with race, and realizing that it is a choice. It is a mentality that you can choose. And it's foolish. You're just blaming someone else. It's in no way helpful. Now, I do see that there's men, again, I'm feeling like I'm being shown men that are trying to tackle the issue and men that are trying to hoist the flag of racism and as a call. And that's how we're going to face it, is because it has to be brought up directly under our noses. And what will happen with this is it forces us to have the conversation. It forces us to confront racism and cases of racism and crimes that go on in our countries. And what I do see us doing, at least America, I've seen that that is an issue that we are meant to deal with and we will be dealing with. And that means things do get ugly. It means that you have to have some ugliness that will come up, that people try and pull stuff on, and we point it out and we say, that is not who we want to be. I definitely get this going on in the world. It's the best way I know how to describe what I've been seeing with regard to race and this issue that we have with white nationalism resurging in many countries. We have to fight back with education and with immediate stomping it out like you would a wild blaze that will just destroy. So I see that we will be addressing it. And I think I'm feeling like I just got the word schools becomes more of a social trend of awareness, because we're going to have more problems, more crimes and things like that around the world that deal with it. But it's really in the long term an opportunity for us to format our countries, get the systemic racism and bigotry out of it. And that's not done necessarily without breaking some eggs, as they say. It's going to be a little messy, but it needs to be done. And I see that we will be confronting these issues globally, because we need to realize we're all interconnected, you silly fools. This is silliness. It's like, blaming your little brother or sister for something that you did, or something that is in the world that has nothing to do with them. So I definitely see that we are going to need to get hold of this issue, scruff it, and look it in the face, and keep looking it in the face and having the horrible conversations that we need to have till the air is cleared, until we get change. And I do believe we are headed that way. So yeah, we're going to have the cringe-worthy discussions and people doing things that in public that we just all look at and go, what are you doing? And it's so that we can reestablish socially a healthier society. And it will take time. But believe it or don't, despite the rise and us looking at this, and more of us saying than those who are saying this is a great thing to be racist, more of us saying no, 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 to those that are wanting to cling to that. So there will be, and there is, this going on in the world. But understand, it has its purpose. And I do believe that it is to bring it to our mindfulness, our awareness, so that we work on it as a society. Because I think there's more people that are going to look at it and say, this has to change. No good, no more. Our loved ones, intermarriage, we have, my family has different ethnic backgrounds in it, and we're all fine with it. So the rest of the world, needs to come up to speed. Most of us do have mix, and we just need to realize that we're all interconnected. And when we do something to hurt our brothers or sisters, or however they identify, we're hurting ourselves. We're hurting it. You might as well just go up and slap your mother. Seriously. And I hope people will think about that. I think they will be, honestly, because we're going to have more incidents that bring it to our attention. The cruelty and the inhumane, disgusting aspect of this. And it's for us to choose. Is that who we are? Is this what we tolerate? And there's going to be more, I'm telling you, more nations that stand up just enough with this stuff. More moms, more grandmas, and I'm sure grandpas and dads in there too, and uncles, what have you, that just say, enough. I'm tired of burying my loved ones because of hate. Just enough. We are moving toward a better society, but we have to move through that sewage first. This comes from the past and how you're taught, what you're taught. You have to be taught this warped idea. So we're looking at getting that message to children, no matter where they are, that that is not a normal thing. You know, put that message across. Get some advertisements. Make it socially seen that hate and racism has no place in society. Definitely look at that. 3 of Cups and the Star. So I do believe we will move toward that message and popularize and normalize the message of, hey, see, we have a lady here, pretty lady with more melanin in her skin here, and we got some different folks there too, Caucasian, whatever. We're moving toward a more holistic society, but first we have to move through this warped trash and make it really clear. So I believe that's what we're doing. And I encourage you to keep putting the message out there that diversity is healthy and is what we need. We need to respect it and to support it. So if you're white and you're seeing this, make sure that you stand up for people, that if you see them being picked on or because of something that's just as silly as their skin color or their gender identity, whatever. We need to stand up and be there for ourselves and each other. And I see us moving. We will be moving in the right direction, but we do have to move through the poopy sewage and clean that out. Get out that bleach and clean up that stink of racism, because it is unhealthy. We need diversity in society, and we will be becoming a society that is more accepting of diversity and valuing diversity eventually. But we got to go through and clean out this dirt, clean out this yucky stuff that's been since white people came to this land. So that's what we're doing. We really are. I'm not just giving you fluff. It's what I get in my dreams and in my readings, and I know with all my heart this is where we're going. So I urge you not to be discouraged, and instead to be encouraged, and to take back your power, and to work on being a good ally and making our world just a better place, starting with yourself. Because that's all you can do. And standing up for those when you're out that you see might need some standing up for, or be present with them, stand with them. All right? So that's my reading on white nationalism and racism in the world. It's ready to take a slumber, folks. It's ready to go because it needs a scrubbing. It needs to go bye-bye. And we're working on it, but it will take time. All right? Okay. Good chat. Good chat. All right. See you in the next video. If you enjoy my content, and I'm very pleased that you do, and please be so kind as to help me by hitting that like button. It helps us content creators. And if you didn't like it, you can hit it too. That's fine. That's okay. And certainly interact. You can leave a comment. You can leave a whatever. It helps content creators on YouTube's platform. And I thank you. Please make sure that you've liked, as I said, and subscribed. Hit that notification and share. And I'll see you very soon.